Good evening to you all. Today, we are going to talk about the important concepts, which are very basic understandings, which would help you to move further in this mergers and acquisition stages. So, today, topic of the discussion is the basics of mergers and acquisition, the basic level of understanding of mergers and acquisition. If we are clear with this basic terminologies or concepts, it is very easy for us to go beyond. So today we'll get into the discussion of basics of mergers and acquisitions. Here we go. So yeah, today's discussion is what is mean by merger, what is acquisition, is both mergers and acquisitions are same, and what are all the different motives of mergers, why the people are going for mergers, why the corporates are going for mergers. This is generally termed as an corporate reconstruction. So why the companies are going, why the corporates are going for this particular mergers and acquisition. This is a small conceptual discussion which we are going to do in this particular video. Here we go. What is meant by merger? The basic concept. What is meant by merger? There are two different terminologies. In a general connotation, it is used in an interchangeable way, but both are different. So what is meant by merger is all about. Merger is a blending of two or more existing undertakings into one undertaking. The shareholders of each blended company becoming a substantially the shareholders in the company in which is going to carry on the blender undertaking. So it is a blend of two existing companies. So A Limited, B Limited, two existing companies. A Limited is going to take over the B Limited and merge together and become a new existence, AB Limited. So the existence of B Limited will not be there anymore. And what happens to this particular shareholders? Both the shareholders will become a one common shareholder substantially to carry the business. So once again, merger is a blending of two or more existing undertaking into one undertaking. So because of merging with one another, one company loses its existence, is what we call as a merger. Furthermore, merger means a combination of pooling of equals with a newly created firm, often taking on a new name. It is a combination. Two different existing firms combined together and to form a new company is what we call as a merger. I hope now you will have some clarity on what is merger is all about. Now, sir, what is mean by acquisition, sir? Acquisition means one firm that acquire and purchase or observes the operation of another existing firm. A limited company, B limited company joins together, merge together and becoming a AB limited company. Then it is a merger. A limited company, which is an existing company, B limited company, which is an existing company. A limited company purchasing or observing or acquiring a substantial portion of B limited shares. Then this becomes acquisition. Little confusing, right? Now we'll go with the differences. What is the differences between this particular mergers and acquisitions? Why I am telling this? That will give you a more clarity. In case of mergers, two existing companies will merge together and become a new existing company with a new name. Rather, In acquisition, one company acquires the another existing company's a substantial portion of shares or substantial portion of management powers. Why I am giving pass here? Both the companies are existing still now, even after the acquisition, which means both existing companies will exist even after the acquisition. A limited company acquires a substantial portion from the B limited company. Both the companies are still now A limited company and B limited company. The names are not changed. Both the companies are not merged and created new companies. Both are existing still now. Now, I think you will have a clarity on what is merger and what is acquisition is all about. So merging two different companies, existing companies, and create a new form of company with a new name and new existence is what we call as a merger. Acquiring a substantial portion of shareholders from this particular company, in our example, B Limited, then that become a acquisition. Just for giving a more clarity, what are all the differences between mergers and acquisition under the different heads? By the same time, meaning you can understand how two or more firms combine together their assets, resources to form a single business unit is what we call as a merger. One giant company takes over a small entity, purchasing of stocks, purchasing of assets is what we call as an acquisition. Coming back, the firm size comparably, both merging companies have a similar size or scale of operations, then only the synergies will happen. But in case of acquisition, the larger company will take over the smaller company. It is not necessary that both the companies want to have an equal size or equal level of economies of scale or equal level of production. Not required. Type of decision, both the companies want to have a mutual concern over each other to merge together. But it is not required in case of acquisition because the giant will take over a smaller company. Sometimes it may be a friendly, sometimes it may be a condition by any chance. Formation of new company is possible in merger, as we all know. It is not possible or it is not necessary in case of acquisitions. And equal power will be there involved in both the parties in mergers. The higher or bigger companies are having, or the companies which are called as giant companies are having more power in case of acquisition. Legal procedure is lengthy in case of acquisition, that is, mergers. It is comparatively very quick and easy procedures for acquisition. This will give you a clarity to move further with what are all the different motives, why the companies, why the corporates are going for this kind of acquisitions or merger kind of aspects. In general term, it is called as in a finance or in a general corporate terminology, it is called as in corporate reconstructions. Why the companies are going on. The reason or motives behind the merger is, first and foremost thing is synergize the operations at any form. We are going to next videos, we are going to talk about the synergies, different types of synergies and so on and so forth. So synergy is nothing but 1 + 1 = 3 in a simple example. I have some resources, you have some resources. If we both join together, obviously we can get higher than what we are individually. That is what we call as a synergy. Second one, diversification. It is very much important nowadays to diversify. Generally, we can't, in investment terminology, portfolio management, people will tell that you can't put all the eggs in one basket. That is what we call as a diversification. Diversification in the sense, we will diversify our investments, we will diversify our risk. That is a very important aspect. So diversification of risk is very much important. Diversification of business is very much important nowadays. And the third category, very important category, most of the mergers, why they are going for is taxation purpose. A loss-making company is acquired by a profit-making company. Once the profit-making company acquired that loss-making company, the loss of that particular company becomes the loss of profit-making company. So there is an income tax provision. The loss can be subsidized to next 8 years. One of the major reasons why the companies are going for a diversification is the next point, what we call as growth. If you want to sustain in a market, and now it is very much important to know about technological diversification. I am involving in a traditional type of manufacturing, which is more particularly labor intensive. But now it is a time to move towards the technological intensive. For that, diversification is required. A company which is having highly intensive technologies, I can collaborate with those people. I can merge with those people to get more synergy. By the same time, diversification automatically happens. Growth plays a very important role. This growth is also can be attained through cost minimization, profit maximization, risk minimization, profit maximization, capturing of markets, market powers, market leaders. All these things are possible through this mergers and acquisition. And the last point is consolidation of production capacity, increase the market power. As I said, if you want to be a market leader, it's very much important for you to collaborate. Stay in tune. We'll discuss with a new concept in the next video. All the best.